Welcome everyone. This is your best player in Captain Cup 2025, Mateoryt. Since the entire tournament has come to an end, I wanted to analyze and summarize the RaceTech matches and more, but today we'll focus mainly on the LSR versus RaceTech match, considering that analyzing the RaceTech versus BOR match doesn't make much sense, though respect to Madmaus for playing it to the end, even though his team didn't show up at all, except for him. In this video, we'll take a look at each team's map picks and bans. We'll see how the players performed on different maps, and how they presented themselves throughout the entire tournament. Are you ready for an exciting match and a great fight between both teams? Then I invite you to watch RaceTech vs LSR, which was truly one of the very good matches. Before we begin the entire material, I'd like to thank mindreflex, Marshall, and Bruno Wilson for allowing me to use their footage in my video. Huge thanks to you guys. And a special thanks to Garrick08 for organizing the whole tournament, much respect. So let's move on to the analysis of the LSR versus RaceTech match. Before we start commenting on the match itself, let's take a look at the bans and picks of both teams. As we can guess, RaceTech didn't particularly want to play Hydra, which is why their first two bans targeted the two Hydra maps. LSR took a more pragmatic approach and banned the maps that RaceTech had played in previous matches. Later, we can see that most of the bans were off-road maps plus one motorcycle map, which is quite difficult. From the picks, we can conclude that RaceTech chose maps with typical strats and hidden lines, while LSR went for the typical off-road plus Hydra combination. With the map selected, we can move on to the match. Round 1, Cheetah Circuit around Los Santos. Let's see how this map goes for both teams. Right at the start, we saw a very interesting shortcut from RaceTech, which gave them a huge advantage early on. Then a small mistake from Shift 32 allowed RaceTech to build an even bigger lead over the opposing team. Still, Shift 32 kept fighting for a good position on this map, but not for long, as he failed shortly after, followed by Lillard, meaning both of them had to catch up to the rest. The rest of the round was just a formality for Team RT, as the LSR players were far behind. The first round ends with a score of 46-21 for RaceTech. Round 2, Foreign Affair, a Hydra map. Let's see what both teams will show us here. At the start, LSR had a good beginning, leaving some RT players behind. After a moment, we see a fail from LSR's player DEM. Then we witness a tight battle between Mateoryt and an LSR player. Shortly after, Bruno Wilson fails, causing him to lose an important position in this intense fight. Near the end of the map, we can see that RaceTech, with Mateoryt and Witchy, managed to secure the map against LSR, giving them a strong start for the upcoming rounds against LSR. This round ends with a score of 68-63 for RaceTech. Round 3, Dangerous Drugs, in Furnace around San Fierro. Let's see what the players can show here. Right at the start, RaceTech performs an interesting move, skipping the ramp and bouncing off the wall, a very creative trick. Then an unfortunate fail from Nez forces him into a comeback. Moments later, we see RaceTech solidifying their lead on this map, but shortly after, another RT player fails. This map is mainly about avoiding the main ramps and jumps and maintaining a good position all the way to the end, which RaceTech managed to do. Round 3 ends with a score of 116-85 for RaceTech. Round 4, My First Paralysis, Sand King Off-Road. A very difficult map. Let's see how both teams perform. At the start, we see huge fails from RT players, and only Mateoryt remains in the top 5. This will be tough for the rest of RaceTech to recover from. Then we see a fail from an LSR player, followed by an interesting line from Mateoryt, which he almost executed perfectly. A bit later, Shift 32 fails. Most of the map becomes a battle between RT captain Mateoryt and the LSR players, But the RT captain makes a very costly mistake twice, near the end of the map, which must have hurt. The rest of the RT players unfortunately did not manage to finish the map, causing round 4 to end with a score of 129 to 127 for LSR. Round 5, Custom City 2022 Park Hour, a custom NRG map. This will be an interesting spectacle. At the beginning, we see a good start from RaceTech players, but shortly after, an LSR player pushes into podium places, which Mateoryt refuses to let happen. Unfortunately, Shift 32 fails, giving RT players a chance to take advantage. Only Garrick and Shift 32 fight for podium spots from LSR's side. Mateoryt pushes far ahead of everyone, allowing RaceTech to continue battling strongly against LSR. Round 5 ends with a score of 167 to 149 for RaceTech. Round 6, Docky Exploration 3, Sand King Off-Road. Let's see what Dokinoke has cooked up for us here. At the start, we see a decent opening from both teams, but shortly after, RaceTech players fail in a rather unfortunate way. LSR then builds a lead on this map, with only the RaceTech captain continuing to fight for a good position. Mainly Garrick 08 and Mateoryt battle for the podium, while the rest of the LSR players trail behind at a distance. At the end of the map, the RT captain secures this crucial round for his team by finishing first, followed by almost the entire LSR team, resulting in a tie, 193-193. Both teams continue going head-to-head every round. Round 7. Beautiful Peach. Phoenix Off-Road. An interesting pick. Let's get into the map. At the start, RaceTech has a good opening, but unfortunately, during a drop, Witchy hits a tree and has to recover. Shortly after, an unlucky fail from Nez allows LSR to confidently build a lead on RaceTech's map. Only Mateoryt and Juby remain at the front, but then Juby makes a very strange fail, hard to explain. Mateoryt is the only one still trying to fight against the LSR team, but he also hits a tree, allowing LSR to take the lead on this map. Round 7 ends with a score of 239 to 217 for LSR, unlucky for RT. Round 8, Errand, Banshee Old School Mix. Let's see if RaceTech can recover some points. At the start, RT players fail, including their captain, giving LSR a strong advantage on this map, which they hold until the very end. Only Mateoryt manages to overtake one LSR player, which signals the end of a once-even battle. LSR wins round 8 with a score of 289 to 237. Round 9, Synthwave 2, Cheetah around Los Santos. Can RaceTech make a comeback, or will LSR maintain their dominance? Let's find out. At the beginning, nothing major happens and everyone drives fairly evenly. After a short while, LSR players fail, giving RaceTech a significant lead. Later, Juby and Nez fail, letting LSR recover the lost ground, and then Nez makes a complete fail, a very unlucky match for him. Near the end of the map, we see 2 different lines taken by both teams, and LSR's line turns out to be the best. Mateoryt and Witchy lose their leading positions to Shift 32. Round 9 ends with 325-271 for LSR, a very disappointing result for RT. Round 10, the final round, Sand King Off-Road. A classic of all classics. Let's see if RT has any chance to show something, but considering this map is basically a formality for LSR, it's clear they dominate it. This is the map on which LSR won the winners semi-final against RaceTech, which means they advance to the final, and RaceTech will have to fight their way through the losers bracket. Summary. This match was one of the most intense matches in the entire Captain Cup 2025, and both teams definitely proved it. Of course, there were other matches that could fit this category as well, but I believe this one deserves its place among the top. When it comes to the team's picks, both sides showed that they can choose maps very wisely. The only issue was that RaceTech started making mistakes toward the end of the match, especially on the map Beautiful Peach, which cost them their chance to win. That's where LSR advanced to the grand final. You could say that one poorly played map ended all hopes of winning the match, which was clearly visible on that Phoenix map. The RT players, considering most of them were random players, showed themselves in a very good light, which certainly surprised LSR, who struggled throughout the early part of the match. That's all. Thank you Garrick08 for organizing such a wonderful tournament, and I'm happy I could contribute my piece to it. Stay strong, and it was a pleasure to commentate this match for you. Warm greetings. Bye bye.
River.
No 112 off the Chiliad he goes. Don't want to see that. Mateoryt in second. Look at the line. What is he doing? What the hell? It worked. What was that?
Yeah, show us Mateoryt. This actually is crazy. He slides off the